Now, a little bit of, not a lot of, this isn't really a grand solar minimum topic, but I wanted to bring it up because What's Up With That had it, and usually they're pretty good with this stuff. But you could be a racist if you cut your lawn and keep it looking pretty. You be the judge here. There is a video here at this website. They actually have a link to the video on the New York Times. And it's called The Great American Lawn, How the Dream Was Manufactured. All right, we're not going to watch it now. But interesting video, guys. I watched it. And it all started, basically, it's, at the end, it's being very, very, very cynical by telling you to thank those who started this tradition. And they're trying to paint this nasty picture of, hey, you know, back in the day when George Washington took over, and, you know, and he had a great looking lawn, but they showed art picture of black slaves who are cutting his lawn with these handheld hook razors. I don't know what they're called, but they take down the weed. I'm sure Matt has the name for them. I'm calling them hook razors, like a re here. But anyway, and you know what's racist is the artwork, I guess, right, of individuals of color cutting George Washington's lawn. Let me see if I can find the actual image here, because, you know, some will say, well, he's drinking water, it's not that bad, right? Well, no, it's bad. I'm looking for it. I don't know if I'm going to find. Oh, here he is. But yeah, apparently the whole thing about the lawn. Here is the image that I was speaking of. You know, a man of color. This is how George Washington had a pretty lawn. Back in these days, slavery was not abolished yet. Unfortunately, there is truth to some of this. But the New York Times, which is usually okay, it's the New York Post that we got to worry about. Oh wait, maybe I got it mixed up. Washington Post is bad. New York Times is okay. So anyway, these people here at New York Times did a highly produced, edited video about how climate change is affected by your lawn work. In fact, you making it pretty is hurting our environment. It also means you're carrying on a tradition. You know, having a civilized lawn also shows pride of ownership, which I can speak to that. I know my brother and I, you know, are big on making sure the lawn's cut, the weeds are, you know, trimmed back, landscaping looks nice. My brother calls me just to brag about how green the grass is this year, and you know, he only had to rake a little bit of the grass clippings because he's so good at mowing twice a week. Anyway. But my brother is the furthest person from a racist. In fact, I just have to say my brother is a moderate, leans closer to the left than anything. So, again, another senseless attack, another video that make you feel guilty about doing something that just shows pride and ownership in what you own. There's nothing wrong. Even renters, people that rent do this. They mow their grass. They make it look good. Now, there is an article here that gives you tips on what to do with that useless grass. That's what this video is pretty much saying. Your yard, no matter how big it is, and you're just growing grass, it's useless. And I get that. I get that. You know, let's make a garden. Let's make this. Let's make a flower bed. Okay, that's fine. So you got less grass to cut and less CO2 emissions from the engine. All right, I'll take a flyer. I'll take a flyer, because they actually mentioned about, you know, let's grow food. Yeah, let's grow food. Good idea. So I like some of the message, but I hate where they're trying to make you feel guilty for cutting your lawn. And I also hate that they're trying to relate cutting your grass to being racist. Also in that video, if you guys watch this video, you'll see like these very small clips of these white women from the 50s. And maybe I can find it real quick here if this wants to act correct here. But what they're doing is they're painting this picture as, you know, all these people that have these really nice cut grasses, you know, it's because there's white people that live here. And they caught this again, this is propaganda, I believe. I think that they're trying to paint this picture of only racist people lived in suburbia and cut their grass. And that the reason why people moved to these areas was because they were told that there would be all whites in their neighborhoods. And that was desirable for them. I'm not seeing it yet. Also, interesting fact out of this video that there's a person from, oh, here it is. So a gentleman out of Buffalo is the inventor of the sprinkler that was first introduced that could be used as from the garden hose. Let's watch this little clip here, guys.
It's expanding. Historian Ted Steinberg calls these rows of tidy lawns an outdoor expression of 50s conformitism. But that conformitism isn't meant for everyone.
I moved here because it was a white community, and we understood that it was going to be all white. We were very happy to buy a home here.
People of color often face discrimination.
Okay, so here again, the video was talking about the history of people that manicured their lawns. And again, this article, this video really is suggesting that only white racist people cut their grass, and we don't want your type around here, even if you cut your grass too. I just don't like, they could have spent time on maybe talking about the effects of having a garden and flower beds and trees in your yard versus talking about how racist people are for cutting their grass because this tradition was started by racist slave owners. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we do today, unfortunately, that people that own slaves also, we still do today. I'm not sure what that stuff is. Anywhere from basic sitting at the table eating food to whatever traditions that they've carried on. Look, I'm not saying I support slavery, and I am not racist by any means, but I just find it evil that the New York Times is trying to imply this. And they even wasted 7 minutes to make a highly produced video to talk about the climate change effects of mowing your lawn and that you're basically a Nazi as well. Now I get it when people called my father a yard Nazi because it was always perfect. I get it now. I finally get it.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.